Victoria Warehouse in Manchester, and a warm welcome to viewers watching us live around the world on the VIP Boxing TV platform. Time now for our next event of the evening. This for the British Classic Challenge belts. This bout scheduled for 8 3-minute rounds of boxing. Timekeeper ringside is Phil Morris, and upon the sound of the bell, the referee in charge of the action is the third man in the ring, introducing Mark Lyson from Liverpool. Boxing out of the blue corner. His weight for the contest, 11 stone, 3 pounds 12 ounces. 23 victories as a professional boxer, including 4 finishing inside the scheduled distance. He's wearing the gold shorts with black trim this evening and boxes out of Atherton, Greater Manchester. Introducing William Warburton. And across the ring, boxing out of the right corner this evening. He also scaled 11 stone, 3 pounds 12 ounces. 12 visits to the ring as a professional boxer, 11 victories, 2 finishing inside the scheduled distance, and 1 defeat on his record. He's wearing the white shorts trimmed with gold this evening and boxes out of Withershore, Manchester. Introducing Macaulay.
Left.
Scheduled for 8 3-minute rounds of boxing, this one for the British Classic Challenge belt.
She's got 8 rounds, light middleweight, Macaulay, McGowan, William Warburton for the challenge belt. Steve Lillis has jumped on, as well as Andy Creme de la Cremna. It could be a good one, this, Steve, couldn't it?
Hey, if Willie comes and gives it a go, he's more, you know, it could become a hard night for Macaulay. Willie, if you look at all the journeymen out there, Willie's most probably, would you say, the best of a lot of them? He could have been a much better boxer, but decided to go that route.
Yeah, definitely. You know, he's got a few names there on his record he's turned over, and this could be an hard night for Macaulay, but Macaulay's a very good professional, very good amateur as well. Like I said before, he's boxed, you know, for England. I think he's got that experience to just come through this fight, but it'll be a tough test for him.
Yeah, Macaulay's looking to get back in there. You know, that he had a lot of impetus behind him after that Jez Smith draw that a lot of people speak about. One of the best fights of last year, but he's, you know, for one reason or another, he hasn't really capitalised on that and never got the rematch. I think it was, I may be wrong, I was told that it was the Smiths camp that they didn't want the rematch.
Yeah, I think Macaulay would have fought him in the street, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
But he never capitalised, did he? He was out for about 8 months.
Yeah, and Jez Smith's gone very quiet as well. So, you know, that's a fight that's certainly is by the by for now.
I think Macaulay's just happy to be back in the ring fighting regularly, isn't he? You know, he got a stoppage a couple of months ago, and this is another one. It keeps him busy while he's just in the mix, isn't he, for these fights?
And he'll do well to get the stoppage here.
Both got the gloves on though, haven't they, Stephen?
Yeah.
Cleto Reyes for an 8-round challenge fight.
Gloves, yeah.
I wonder if Warburton picked him.
I remember William saw him when he beat Georgie Keane, who was a much vaunted amateur. I think he got the ABA semis. George had a lot of publicity when he turned professional. It never quite worked out, and Willie was one of the reasons it never worked out for him.
Yeah, it just took him. That was down at a copper box, wasn't he? He just took Georgie to school. We were saying Callum Pearson, who just fought William on his debut, which is a bit of a thankless task, isn't it? And William turned him over. Yeah. So if you don't come prepared, he will beat you. What's Macaulay doing so far, Andy?
He's claimed centre of the ring. You know, he's applying the pressure there. Warburton's coming back with some loose, wild shots. He just needs to be a bit wary of. Well, it's a good start from Macaulay.
First round in the bank there for Macaulay.
Yeah, interesting, he weighed 157, Macaulay. I mean, when he was fighting on Frank Warren's shows, we often had a debate, often myself and Buncey on Box Nation, and he was always insisting he was a welterweight, and I would never have any of it. And I think Anthony Farnell thought he was more of a light middle, and but Macaulay was always saying he could be a welterweight, but I don't see that at all ever again.
No, he looks quite thin in his face today as well. You know, he looks in good shape.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like he's certainly not 10 pounds to come off, is he, looking at him there?
Fantastic personality as well. You know, up every morning 4 o'clock, working at the airport, and then off to the gym.
Yeah, he's a character in the gym as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
A couple of screws loose, I think, dotted around the gym in Arnie's never fallen out, but he's hilarious.
I think you've got to have a couple of, look, they all work hard in that gym. I think they've all got a couple of screws loose in that gym.
Yeah, and the new kids that are coming through, like Jake James and Jamie Mitchell, they're equally as bad, aren't they, as well?
You know what, I've only seen those kids. They were pretty quiet when I was up there. They were still amateurs, and I think he was dithering whether to turn them over.
Yeah, I think he's giving him a go. Macaulay's jumped off his stool here, looking to put it on Willie a bit, isn't he, Andy?
Yeah, you know, he started very fast this round. Looking for that right hand over the top. Just slightly missing at the moment.
Macaulay doing everything to make sure there is no upset, I think, tonight. He looks on it.
Yeah, definitely. He set a very high pace in there. It'd be interesting to see if he can carry this on for the 8 rounds, because it's a hell of a pace.
When you fight these sort of journeymen, Andy, do you feel you just got to set a pace to make sure they just go into their shell, or?
Yeah, like you say, if you give them half a chance, they'll come out swinging, and obviously they'll believe they can win. I think it's very important that you know, set the pace in there and get them at a pace that they're uncomfortable to work at. Especially with someone like Willie Warburton, if you, like you said before, if he fancies it, you know, he's more than capable. He's more than a journeyman in my eyes. On his night, he's quite a decent fighter. You
know, I go around them and I speak to people in gyms, and they always say people like him and Chris Lake, if they decided to go down that route, they could have won a few fights, but they weren't ticket sellers, so this was the route they took.
Yeah, definitely. Like you say, they fight every week, and you know, they get that £1,000 in the bank.
Yeah.
It's a nice wage to be earning cash in hand every week, isn't it, for them?
And it's harder and harder for boxers these days, unless they are ticket sellers. You know, like we saw your last fight on. Was that your last one, wasn't it, on Box Nation?
Yeah, on Box Nation.
You sold a load of tickets.
Yeah.
So
yeah, like you say, unfortunately in the game, if you haven't got that exceptional amateur pedigree, you've got to be a massive ticket seller, or you're not really going to get the shots that you deserve. But it's good to see, like on show tonight, you know, Ashley Payton in a 50-50 fight, and Steve Wood's putting more of them fights on just to see if the lads can go to that next level.
And what surprised me, the crowd here tonight behind us. Yeah, it looks like most of the kids have sold their fair share of tickets tonight.
Yeah, definitely. You know, Charlie Schofield always brings, you know, a hell of a crowd. And he was very busy in the bar, I noticed, which I wasn't too happy about.
Yeah, I suppose for the fans, when they're used to seeing the mate, because that's what it is, isn't it? Turning over another Bulgarian over 4 rounds, the novelty wears off, doesn't it? And then when an intriguing, exciting, interesting fight like Payton Bilal gets announced, it's like reinvigorates them, doesn't it? And we do buy tickets to come and watch. If Macaulay is at light middleweight, where would we rank him? He was scheduled to fight Matty Ryan last year, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Or earlier this year.
He pulled out of that one injured, didn't he?
But, you know, I saw Ted Cheeseman take Matty Ryan apart, really.
Yeah.
Where would we put Macaulay in that sort of mix?
He's up there, and you know, who could be fighting Ted Cheeseman? I happen to think Cheeseman's a really good fighter. Very, very good fighter there. I think he'll go a lot further than English title level, but look, Macaulay is in that mix, but you know, the English Championship is held by a very good fighter, you know, and if he fought Ted Cheeseman, we'd have to say he'd start an underdog.
Well, hopefully he can get back in the mix, get a couple of wins, and like bridge the gap from where he is now up to that level. He's got the ability, hasn't he?
Well, it shows you that, you know, how good some of these kids are. I think Jamie Spate went quite how far did he go? Did he?
Jamie Spate. fought
Who was it who Cheeseman fought last time?
Matty Ryan.
Matty Ryan. I mean, that sort of win's a fantastic win.
Yeah,
Jamie Spate fought on the same bill.
He did.
Yeah, you know, the Matty Ryan, when we do him in 3 rounds, not just quickly, but the manner of the victory.
Yeah, it wasn't a shot in an exchange, was it? You bullied him for 3 rounds.
Yeah.
Maybe that would be a good fight. You know, I think Matty's fighting Darryl Sharp for the area title in November.
That's a good fight if Darryl's in the mood as well.
Why not? But if Matty comes through, why not reschedule Macaulay and Matty, get it on again?
Macaulay just needs to stay busy now.
Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, the fight with Matty Ryan, it would make sense, you know, a local derby, and like you say, he'd be selling quite a few tickets with his pals and obviously Matty Ryan's pals.
What else is going on anyway, Steve? Countdown, isn't it, now to the big one?
Yep.
We look to the world. He got last week out of the way, and now the best fight I can remember for years.
Best middleweight fight of this generation, the best fight in boxing today, Canelo and Alvarez. Cannot wait for it. I've always been on Alvarez from day one, and you know, now I'm beginning to think now, have I been so heavy on him from day one? Have I called it right? But no, I just think the timing's right. When you think the fights like some Mayweather and Lara, greatest learning fights you can have. And that's what they were, learning fights.
Yeah.
If you look at the defence he's got now, he's almost like he got that from Mayweather.
Yeah. I just wondered, as regards this fight, has Golovkin had the better preparation by fighting like Brook and Monroe, people who punch in combination? How can you prepare for Golovkin?
Well, there's two ways to look, you know, but has the fact that he's come off a really hard fight, albeit against Danny Jacobs Jr., and is Canelo the fresher because he's had a virtual spar with Chavez Jr. There's all those measure-ups as well. I just got a feeling it's the Golden Boy. They've made this fight because they think it's the right fight at the right time. I remember I was in Vegas 2 years ago when Canelo beat Cotto, and that night Oscar De La Hoya was shouting, don't make sure your phone's on tomorrow, Golovkin. We're going to be calling you to make this fight. That was nearly 2 years ago.
Are you picking in that, Andy? You know, when you look at that Golovkin Canelo, who does your gut tell you straight away?
I'm a massive fan of Golovkin, so I'd have to just swear there. You know, Canelo's an exceptional fighter. He's moving up a weight, but I don't think he'll struggle at moving up either. He's a hell of a size.
Yeah. An interesting point. I did make a program for Box Nation on this, where I went down and interviewed a few boxers who had fought them, and Matthew Macklin was making a point that to Golovkin, forget what he's done in the past, you know, when he knocked out Matthew with a body shot and all these other, this is the fight that Golovkin will be remembered by. Nothing before, nothing after. This is his career-defining fight, where, you know, Alvarez has had Mayweather, and because he's a popular Mexican, there might be more of these even if he loses.
Oh, he's so young as well, isn't he, Canelo? He's only 25.
Yeah.
Golovkin's 35. It really is his last. If he does come through this, if he comes through it in spectacular fashion, you're looking around for a suitable opponent, because he's probably too small for super middleweight.
I think
this is his fight.
I think if he wins, he'll fight Billy Joe Saunders.
To try and do a Terence Crawford and
get
clear
all
up the
4 belts.
entire
That's
division.
what I think they're looking at. And remember, that fight was going to happen in Kazakhstan on June 10. But Golden Boy said to Golovkin, if you take the interim fight, you're not going to get this fight. So I think that fight could well happen if he wins.
The people on the stream, Jack Catterall's with you, Steve. He picks Canelo. Joe Murray picks Golovkin. That's just got everybody split completely down the middle.
That's what you know. That without us talking about, that tells you. You know, boxers are split down the middle. And there are people that know more than I ever will. Of course, Jack's been in the camp with Canelo.
Yeah, he sparred a lot of rounds with Canelo, didn't he? He did those famous rounds with Mayweather, but I think tell us if we're wrong, Jack, because you're watching. I think he did more rounds with Canelo.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I know I think he enjoyed the relative tranquility of Canelo's camp compared to the madness of the Mayweather gym in Las Vegas.
Yeah, Jack's Jack's got a very interesting fight scheduled as well, hasn't he?
Yeah.
You know, it'd be interesting to see how that fight pans out. You know, the southpaw and then silky, awkward orthodox boxer and Tyrone Nurse.
Terrific fight. And I think we've been waiting now for Jack to have that fight where he kicks on and shows, because we've been talking about Jack for a few years, not just as a future British champion, but going on and fighting the best in the world.
Yeah, he's ready, isn't he?
Yes. Yes.
When I weigh up his fight, do you think Tyrone has maybe just gone over the peak? When he was on boxing on the small halls and the Tyler Goodjohn fight, he looked a sensational fighter. He never got clipped with a shot.
It's funny when you just talking about Golovkin there. It's the same thing people are saying about, you know, Jack's fight against challenge against Tyrone. Not that Tyrone's past it, but has he just plateaued a little bit? Has he just reached that peak now and has gone as far as he's going to go? You know, but Tyrone's the sort of guy who, them sort of comments will fire him up.
And
certainly his daddy to fire up.
Certainly, and I think certainly when the first bell goes, we will get the best Tyrone Nurse.
Yes.
It's just whether he can maintain that over the distance of a fight, isn't it? Because Jack hits hard and he's gonna land. I think Jack's been sparring with Bilal, who's coming up later on tonight. He's been getting some useful rounds in with Bilal. That fight's later on in October, and another VIP fighter, Josh Warrington, takes on Dennis Ceylon in an IBF eliminator. It's all happening for VIP fighters at the moment. Worked hard, Steve, hasn't he, to get into this position?
Yeah. Sorry.
Not you. Steve
I haven't
Wood.
worked hard, no. Yeah, Steve's done really well with his fighters. I remember when Steve started out as a pro. I met Steve many years ago through Steve the Viking Foster, and become firm friends ever since. He's a good man, and you know, an honest manager, looks after his fighters. You know, I trust one of the few people in the world I trust my life with, and I'm pleased to see him getting the results with his boxers now. Quite a bloody nose there for Macaulay at the end of that round.
Yeah, he's got the world's most famous cutman, hasn't he, tending to him as well, Andrew O'Neill.
Top man, Andrew. I'll tell you a story, Andrew. A couple of years ago, I was in Las Vegas, and there was a Brazilian, you'll have to check it on Box Rec, fighting on it was over the Canelo Calm bill or the Canelo Cotto bill against Curtis Stevens, a Brazilian called Patrick Teixeira, who was 30-0. So about 2 days before the fight, Andrew came to see me. He said, "You won't believe this fella who Curtis Stevens is fighting. I've been to the gym. They brought me in to do the cuts. He's the worst 30-0 fighter I've ever seen." He got done in 2 rounds by Curtis Stevens.
He really does get everywhere. I was over for the Lomachenko fight in Martinez.
He gets where Walter
I think he was doing a Nicaraguan's corner.
He gets where Walter doesn't. He's all sorts of... Very nice guy as well.
Yeah, in between rounds there, Arnie were just asking for Macaulay to bring that right hand into play a bit more, try and chop it down. So it'll be interesting to see whether he can get that shot off.
Yeah, he's taken Willie's ambition away, hasn't he? But he's not been able to make a big dent in him yet, really. He's controlling it, but William's doing his good job of surviving.
So that's what we have to do with what Andy was saying. You set the pace and you take their ambition out there if they're coming here to give it a go. The pace not quite as frenetic as it was the first 3 rounds.
Yeah, it has just dipped a little bit. Willie's still trying to make it competitive there. And not many of his shots landing at the moment in time.
When you at next, Andy?
Steve rang me the other day. We was hoping to fight in Oldham at the end of October. I was recently in a car crash, so it's looking, after I've had my physio, it's looking to be November. So touch wood, it'll either be November or the Jolly Boys.
Jolly Boys here, yeah. I'm coming. I've just bought my table for the Jolly Boys.
I won't mind fighting twice, to be honest with you, but I just need to get out.
Need the money for Christmas.
Yeah, definitely.
Double spray tans then before you get in the ring as well, eh?
You might be able to afford a pair of pants that fit, Steve. Look at those.
They're crackers. Best looking boxer who appears with the shorts, the silk shorts, the pink shorts and the spray tan. Fantastic.
I've got a hell of a comment on Box Nation.
Yeah.
looks like Gareth Gates, but boxes like Gatty.
You'll take that, won't you, eh?
Yeah, well.
That's your epitaph, that should be.
Yeah, it's on my Twitter now, it's on my bio.
Who's that? Barry Jones, was it?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
I'll tell Barry you're thankful for that when I see him. I'll see him next week or the week after. I'll pass on your thanks.
How's it going at Matthews, Andy? You know, that camp's all of a sudden, it's exploded, hasn't it?
Yeah, good. Was down today watching Adam Hague and Martin Mainware in Spa. Adam Hague's got that youth title fight in Birmingham as the away fighter. It's an interesting fight. Yeah. Looking at I've never seen the lad box who he is boxing, but looking at his record, I think it's a winnable fight.
Nice gym, nice setup there in Stock. I was popped up there the other week to see Matthew. It's a really nice gym.
Yeah, he's moved to Per Mill.
Yeah, that's why I went. Yeah, to the mill there. Yeah.
Like I say, specific to boxing now. But yeah, Matthew's a very dedicated trainer.
Yeah.
Comes in specifically just to train me on my own after I finish work, and he's as hungry as I am, and I think that's what you need in a coach.
When Matthew was boxing, obviously, you know, he was Ricky's brother, and that, you know, he helped get on the big shows. But all the hard work he put into it, so much, you know. And if he puts in half as much as a trainer, it'll be a success story.
He doesn't get enough credit, I don't think, Matthew.
No.
What an overachiever when you look at what he did.
He was absolutely. I would say, you know. Look, you know, he did benefit from having Ricky as his brother, but it wasn't Ricky in the ring fighting those guys. He fought, won a European title. I was in Anaheim with him that week when he fought Canelo, and that was that night in there. That was hostile. Apart from when I saw Michael Jennings fight Cotto in Madison Square Garden, that was the most hostile environment ever. I mean, Broner was on the bill, and he was, you know, start of his career, and they were. When Broner left the ring, he won a close decision that night. I can't think. One of the Mexicans was a former world champion. They were pelting him with bottles as he left the ring.
And Matthew had to deal with a lot outside the ring, didn't he? Did we not keep changing him away every couple of days?
The weighing, and then when they weighed in, Canelo fouled the weight and come back to the scales. You know, he was never going to lose the weight, and I think his dad did a deal for. It was an interesting week out there in Anaheim. But Matthew wasn't overawed at all.
I remember speaking to Matthew in the gym, and he was, you know, he mentioned his sparring in preparation for that camp, and he was saying how hostile it was over in America. He said he was in a particular gym, and there was some Mexicans with a shirt off, and Matthew took his shirt off to train, and they was telling him to get his shirt back on, and he said it was very hostile.
He had a couple of days, I think, at the Wild Card. So I was with him there, and then we went to this gym one night in Anaheim, which today it's in California. It's virtual non-English speaking. It is Mexico as such. You know, a lot of Southern California is. And we went to this school he did some training in one night, and in Anaheim you don't hear a lot of English spoken.
Especially not from a pasty white guy who's coming to beat the national hero.
All credit to him, he's still the only Briton to have been the distance with either Canelo or Triple G, so...
It's just got a little bit messy, this, hasn't it? You know, they're both struggling to land anything clean. That's why we're wittering on.
Just from what one or two people said before, I thought Willie was really going to come in and give it a go tonight, but the ambition was out. You know, lost the first couple rounds, and it was almost I'll settle for second best.
Macaulay's probably just got a little bit close a lot of the time, hasn't he? Just overcrowded things. Looks like he's getting a bit frustrated as well, Macaulay, doesn't he? You know, he's one of the lads who really understands every bit of a game, you know. But he is getting a bit frustrated. When you win something like this, Andy, how important is it to get back to your corner and get told in no uncertain terms, you know, to get yourself back at range if you're Macaulay and quit all this?
Yeah, it is difficult, obviously, fighting a fighter like Willie. You know, he's going to close the gaps and make it, you know, messy in there. But like I say, you've just got to give yourself half a yard and find them shots and just find that distance. Macaulay's a good fighter, good boxer. He's just pressing a little bit too much. Starting to use his feet a little bit more now, just trying something a little bit different. But like you say, he's set that pace there, and he's made the benchmark for the fight. He's in the driving seat.
Yeah.
Got 3 more fights tonight. We've got Kane Gardner's debut. I know a lot of people looking forward to that. Then we've got a clash of the unbeaten guys, Ashley Payton and Bilal Rahman. And then Ben Sheedy and Alistair Warren. It could be an exciting one later. Both guys can punch. We've seen, well, it's a long time ago now, but Ben got rocked by Studzinski and Warren has knocked a couple of prospects out. Anything could happen there, but still
Alistair
4 good
really
fights to go.
leaves it all in there. Tends to get cut a lot though, that lets him down a lot. Alistair Warren.
There's another one of a journeyman who really isn't a journeyman. He's still got that bit of ambition to win fights.
Yeah, I remember last year he fought on a Box Nation show. He got the job on the morning. I think he had to go sick from work, so they wouldn't give him the time off. And when he lost in a round to Lerone Richards, or 2 rounds.
I bet he was hoping no one was channel hopping that night, and saw why he ducked off work. Missing a bit wild, both guys there.
So it's just not caught fire this fight. I think we was expecting a bit more, in fairness, in the fight.
Yeah, myself, I expected the styles to gel well, and I expected fireworks. But Macaulay will be happy with this, as he's just nicking rounds. Well, Warburton's keeping it competitive. He's coming back and still throwing.
Yeah. Perhaps Macaulay's one of those boxers. The bigger the test, the better he'll be.
Yeah, he showed real guts that night, didn't he? With the Jez Smith fight to get off the floor in the first round.
You know what? I thought he deserved it just about. I'm not arguing with the draw. It wasn't a scream up, but
yeah, if you remember that fight, Macaulay went down there as your way fighter, dragged himself up off the floor, and we went to war, didn't we, Steve, for remaining 7 rounds of that.
Incredible.
It was a fantastic fight. Look it up on YouTube. And most people thought McGowan nicked it, but it was a definite rematch. Like we said earlier, it should have happened. Hopefully we can see it in the future. And Macaulay's just trying to catch up the ground from that performance now.
Yeah, and as Andy was saying, I think him against Matty Ryan in a few months, that would be a fight. Would sell tickets. Local rivalry you can't beat in boxing.
Yeah, definitely, and I think it's a bit of a gatekeeper fight, perhaps, for that next level.
Yeah.
We were talking about potential fights for these local guys last time, and we thought if Macaulay could make the welterweight, Liam Taylor down at the Finest might have been a good fight at welterweight.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see Macaulay near 147 again.
Now he's up to 154. He's got to look for these different challenges, but he's got to get through this one first. It looks like he's going to do, but never say never.
It's got really scruffy in there.
Just trying to pick away Willie now, isn't he? Just on his back foot, trying to move and pick away at maybe that nose is bothering Macaulay more than we think.
Yeah.
We're not in there, are we? There's a lot of blood coming from it.
Nice left up there from McGowan as Warburton come in. He looked for that shot quite a lot that round, I thought. The left up over the top.
I think Macaulay's a lot better when he's behind that jab like he was in the early stages.
Emily McGowan, who I'm assuming some relation, she says she would tap Macaulay's nose when we were kids and it'd bleed. So if that's your sister, Macaulay, I know you're watching this back. She used to beat you up when you were a kid.
A lot of fighters struggle with nosebleeds. I remember as an amateur boxing down at Borshaw, and the Burtons used to suffer with quite bad nosebleeds.
Yeah.
So some people unfortunately just have that trait.
More worried about one of those hairs coming out of place, wouldn't you, Kremner?
Oh, that's brutal, that is.
I'm worried about this receding hairline.
You got a 5 head now, haven't you? About a 4 head.
That's terrible. That's terrible, John. He's one of your guests working for free tonight, mate, and you're giving him that.
No, it's good to have Kremner back on. Me and Kremner did quite a few together, didn't we, before he disappeared?
Yeah, we used to give each other quite a lot of stick. So it's been very tame tonight.
He had a loyalty card at Florida Fried Chicken on Yorkshire Street in Oldham at one point, but he's traded that in now.
Traded it in for Nando's, gone for the healthy option. Healthier.
Boxers should be sponsored by Nando's. A number of boxers who mention Nando's after a weigh-in, that's my healthy option now, that's my treat. They should be giving the black card out.
Yeah, definitely. I seen on Twitter, Carl Frampton was actually asking for a black card to Nando's.
I've got a feeling Tony Bellew may have one. Yeah. I may be wrong. Tony's watching, and he always does watch boxing. Maybe I think Tony might have.
I think it's overrated, Nando's. It's just spicy chicken and chips.
Oh, John, you don't like spending money. You don't know. I mean.
Am I a Philistine?
John, John blows off in the gas meter to save 2p. We know that.
Turn the gas off to flip my bacon.
Yeah. John, you've got to enjoy Nando's.
It's okay, but I wouldn't go overboard. Yeah.
The chicken thighs are the best. Willie's in he's over 150 fights, Willie. I'm sure he'll be the next 200 man, will he?
Yeah, well, we had Christian Light on before, who's had about 270, and William seems to fight every bit as regularly as Christian now, so he's got to be coming up to it, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, his last win come against Conor Seymour, that was back in February of this year. Conor being, 1-7 drawn, 2 being an unbeaten fight there. On his day, he is capable.
It's cool. Look, that was a really good right uppercut there from Willie.
Yeah, and just a bit close, Macaulay, isn't he? All the leverage, he just can't get full leverage into his shots. Just a foot too close. And
so much better when he boxes behind the jab. I wish he'd done more of that. He could have made it. I think there's no doubt he's won, but he could have made that a much easier night for himself than what it developed into.
I think he was so determined to set that pace in there and be the boss from the start. And like I say, I think he just a little bit too overeager tonight, and he's come away with a good win though.
Yeah.
Are we giving William anything there? Are we maybe giving him a share of 1 or 2 rounds?
I think he's won a couple. He'll get a couple of rounds there, yeah, for sure.
Let's get the official announcement from Paul Booth. There's 2 more title fights to come tonight. There's the majestic British Challenge belt being taken into the ring.
A very nice belt. I won't mind one of them myself.
I know, nice.
It looks like the Rocky belt, doesn't it?
It looks like the Ring magazine belt with that half in the middle, doesn't it?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as both boxers are brought to the centre of the ring, come on, a nice show of appreciation for the efforts of both of these guys. Well, after 8 rounds of boxing, we ask our scoring referee to decide the contest. Referee Macaulay Tyson sees the bout at 78 points to 75 points in favour of our winner. And now the holder of the British Classic Challenge belt from Wythenshawe, Manchester, Macaulay!
Macaulay looked like he was a bit nervous waiting for the decision there. We thought it was pretty clear.
I think he was more disappointed with the scoring. A lot of them rounds were close.
Keep that round of applause going for our
no, very good win for Macaulay. Like I say, he can move forward from that fight now.
Here's the British Classic Challenge belt holder this evening. It's Macaulay McGowan.
Very well reffed as well. He didn't really get involved, just let him get on with it.
Good referee, Mark Lyson.